Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to my attention that apparently coffee is now racist. Yeah, I know what you guys are getting. Well, that's just not true. The coffee is just a drink. Well, no, I have to fight back against you guys. All right, white coffee is racist. It perpetuates white supremacy. It's all due to capitalism and all that stuff. So it's racist. Now, jokes aside, this is true. This is an actual article. I am concerned for the well-being of this person. I think this person needs mental help, and I think that maybe, just maybe, we're just going a little too insane. Maybe we should dial it back. Maybe 4 notches. 5 may actually be a good one. But yeah, it goes into this article here. Saying, is coffee racist? How drinking coffee perpetuates white supremacy. Yeah. What supremacy? Right. If you're a person of color, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I don't know what you're talking about because, one, I don't really drink coffee for that much. So, yeah, that's one. Two, does anybody that is Mexican, Asian, of ethnicity know what they're talking about when they're thinking coffee is racist? Can somebody please let me know about that, please? I am confused. You walk into a new coffee shop and your senses are overwhelmed with whiteness, and you get the glare from the Karens. No? The white hipster barista lines herself up between you and the bathrooms and ready to tell you non-customers aren't welcome. Again, no? If you have a white coffee drinking friend, he or she may have even let you in on the old coffee joke white coffee drinkers share when the colors are around. There are 3 things that are necessary in order to make a cup of coffee. They are: first, a black man to roast the coffee; second, a yellow man to grind it; and third, a white man to drink it. No. No, that's never come up. At all. Ever. I don't know where you're even getting this from. What? Where are you? Where are you getting this from? By the way, it also says it's created by black people for black people, and now a pillar of white supremacist capitalism. If you consume coffee, you are helping an industry built on racism. Right. Of course, because that makes sense somehow. Well, I'm here to validate your lived experience. I've never experienced this. Coffee is in fact horribly racist, and there's data to back it up. Every facet of the coffee industry, in fact, is rooted in racism. From the moment the whites viciously stole coffee from black and brown people, to the present day, Karen sipping her morning cup of white supremacy, whites have been able to drink the fruits of our labor and our culture with impunity. Oh. Okay. So, are you saying that when a white person made the shower, or when a white person made the tampon for women, it is now a only white person thing, and other black people and other races cannot use those said showers or tampons because it's racist to do so? Guys, this person has a problem mentally. There's nothing more important to black folks than learning more about their rich history and embracing the unequaled creativity and genius of their blackness. This is just sounding racist coming from you. I don't know. You're making this racist yourself. You're literally the one that's making this racist. It's only recently that historians have begun to recognize the achievements of black people, from building the pyramids to composing classical symphonies to creating the day-to-day life feel of the white supremacist capitalist system. Wait, what? It's true. The history of coffee is both fascinating and tragic. Phyllis Johnson, founder of BD Imports and Strong Black Coffee. Why aren't African Americans more prominent in the coffee industry? I don't know. Maybe you just don't want to be in the coffee industry, I guess. It beats the fuck out of me. And why do you care? Working through this unpleasant history is necessary for everyone involved in coffee. For some, this history is a source of empowerment. For others, it is a source of anger, hurt, and shame. What? Unfortunately for many, this history is unknown. It's important that we understand and acknowledge this history. It's a well-known fact that whites would be eating bland food, like bland bread and gruel, if it weren't for their theft of culinary secrets from people of color, and especially black folks. Okay, I see a stereotype here, and here's the thing. The people that invaded America, like the U.S., what you want to call it, the people that invaded that, they already had their own spices and stuff in their own country. We just added those spices. What? We took what the people had, the spices here, and we added to whatever other spices that we had. We even have spices that are not from this country that are from other countries. What? That's precisely why when the whites found out about coffee, it became one of the reasons they decided to victimize and appropriate black civilization wholesale. The first coffees extorted to North America and Europe were harvested by slaves. Johnson wrote later, enslaved Africans prepared and served coffees for their slave owners when they were not laboring in the fields. Coffee first came to North America and Europe between 1650 and 1700, but coffee was an important, almost religious part of black culture, going as far as back to the 1400s in Ethiopia. After the whites got the first sip of black delicacy, they brutally enslaved people of color to keep up with demand, turning a ritualistic drink into another consumer product in a colonial capitalist machine. As we trace the bean that started in Africa and spread throughout the world, slave ships departed West Africa to put in place forced labor to acquire an adequate supply of production to meet demand, Johnson said. Here's the one thing they're not telling you is that their own black people sold their people for petty things like jewelry and shit. Like, it was literally a trade. The blacks sold their people for petty things like jewelry. The white people gave those petty things to them black people, and the black people became slaves because their own people sold them to the whites. Okay, history learned. As demand for coffee grew during this period, so did enslavement, which was used to sustain production. Again, black people sold their own people, but let's not mention that, I guess. White folks drinking coffee perpetuates gentrification and racism. Now it has been established that historically coffee is deeply rooted in colonialism and racism. You might be wondering what the next steps are. Are we all addicted to the stuff? What do we do with our horrible knowledge? If you think coffee culture can find refuge in specialty coffee, think again. This might be obvious to some, but I'll spell it out for the folks in the back. The burgeois notion of specialty coffee is especially rooted in classism, which is directly linked to racism, a whole other and very long topic. It's just that black folks cannot afford specialty coffee, but various subjects of the term specialty coffee suggest that some coffee is somehow superior to others, and ideas that is rooted in whiteness. I don't know where black people can't afford specialty coffee, and most people that I know just buy just the normal coffee. Anyways, if you want specialty coffee, go to freaking Starbucks, which they charm your arm and a leg for, by the way. Values like hard work creates better products and white supremacist idea that is constantly forced upon people of color and justifies stereotypes like the myth of laziness in people of color. I know a white person that is extremely lazy and the most garbage human being on the planet. Whatever. If you can't turn to specialty coffee, at least you can support your local coffee shop, right? Again, hold on. The number one sign of gentrification of black spaces is a new chick coffee shop. According to Bitterroot magazine, these shops seem to sprout on the corner of every neighborhood just as it's beginning to gentrify. Phenomenal researchers are beginning to notice too. My store has a coffee shop right next to us. And no, it's not Starbucks. Also, I go to a donut shop every now and then, and the Asians there sell coffee. And then the white people buy the coffee. And then the black people also buy the coffee. What? I don't know what you're getting at here. And let's not forget that so-called progressive shops fail to pay a living wage. It's not meant to be a bloody career. What are you talking about? Oh my god. The average salary for a barista in Portland, Oregon is a measly 23,000 to 23,000. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're not meant to be career jobs. They're meant for, teenagers to get a foot into the door. Because here's the thing, like there's some jobs you just can't allow somebody to have immediately when they're a teenager. All right? Like that's kind of obvious. To put it short, think twice before entering your local anti-capitalist coffee shop. Despite their anarchist democracy, they are trying to exploit people of color just like the 19th century colonialists. Well, okay, I don't really care. I'm gonna go and get coffee wherever the fuck I want. I don't care. It's the same thing with white people. I think I'm gonna get coffee wherever they want to do it. So I don't know where I'm going. What's next? Beer's also racist. That's not to mention big retail coffee and coffee chains, which are just as bad as crypto racist coffee shops in gentrified areas. At least white liberals pretend to be tolerant of us. Black folks are not even allowed to use restrooms in big coffee chains, as I'm sure you'll remember from this tragic 2018 Starbucks story. No, wrong, very very wrong. But I think I would say that a lot of coffee shops that I know of don't really have restrooms, as far as I know. Usually coffee shops are like, they're usually kind of small for what I've seen. And if they are bigger ones, they do have restrooms. And I have never once seen to where a coffee shop does not allow a black person to use a restroom. You're taking one thing that from one Starbucks chain, from one area, as a thing, which is not. It's time to boycott and divest. Unfortunately, coffee is not the only racist drink on the market. Of course, milk has also become racist after white supremacists began using the white drink as a symbol of their skin. Yes, racist roots of the coffee industry are certainly much deeper, but the whiteness of milk and milk's devastating effects on the beautiful black body makes it almost as bad as coffee for... What are you talking about? Milk is white! Excuse me, are you saying that your now coffee is racist because coffee happens to be black? Do you realize the beans in coffee are brown? Excuse me? And then when you mix milk in it, it turns a more of a lighter color? Oh my god, no. Oh my god, oh Jesus. Oh. Okay, I'm done. I can't do this. Milk is apparently racist, and so is coffee. All right, guys, you heard it from us, from the lunatic. All right, well, oh boy. Well, guys, like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care. Dear fucking God, we are living in a nightmare world.